So President Biden hosted an early Juneteenth celebration at the White House yesterday as his support among black voters continues to go down.
Now, one polling guru is suggesting that Joe Biden should drop out of the presidential race with less than 5 months to Election Day.
Peter Doocy, just back from France, joins us from Washington. Peter?
Good morning. And the president came back to the White House last night after a few days in France and a few days in Delaware to host an early Juneteenth celebration there on the South Lawn. We've got some video of it. I don't remember ever seeing President Biden try to dance on camera. Last night was not going to be the night. He did briefly address the crowd on the South Lawn, though, to accuse Republicans of trying to take away black Americans' right to vote, trying to do anything to reverse this trend. He has shed 7% of his black voter support since October of 2020. Trump has gained in that time 9%. Things are bleak with young voters, too. So now we've got this headline from The Wrap. SNL and Parks and Recreation writers pitch ads to help Biden reach Gen Z and young millennials. These ads are going to come out next month in July, and the organizer is claiming in this interview that it's not your average celebrity endorsement. Rather, they are creating content with Millennial and Gen Z writers for Millennial and Gen Z voters. At the same time, the pollster Nate Silver is warning Biden just hit a new all-time low in approval, 37.4% at 5:38 yesterday. Dropping out would be a big risk, but there's some threshold below which continuing to run is a bigger risk. Are we there yet? I don't know, but it's more than fair to ask. We have no indication President Biden is planning to drop out. He's going to go talk about gun safety later on today before heading back out to Europe, Western Europe, for the G7 in Italy, where the talk will once again turn, like last week, to Russia v. Ukraine. Back to you.
Peter, I was pretty stunned to see how much Jill Biden's trips back and forth across the oceans from Delaware, $345,000 it's cost taxpayers.
And it sounds like the DNC is going to reimburse the cost of some first-class tickets, which is the way that they generally do it.
That's like a few $1,000s.
Personal travel, yeah.
I wonder if this started, because remember, Peter, you told the story and then you said, how much is this going to cost the taxpayer?
Yeah, well, you're welcome, taxpayers, for getting you some first-class ticket reimbursements.
That's right. Yeah. So now, Peter, regarding Nate Silver saying, you know, they should have listened to me in February. He should have dropped out last year. There's nobody at the White House. There's nobody at the campaign who's saying, okay, we're going to lay low, and then just before the convention, he's going to drop out. Nobody's suggesting that he's going to say, you know what, I had a good year. So long.
No, and there was a lot of talk about different prominent Democrats a couple months ago who maybe were putting themselves in a position if Biden decided he was going to bow out, but that is all done. They are all systems go with Biden at the top of the ticket and Harris as the vice president, and hoping for the best.
So, Peter, I'm hoping you can put this into context, because when you look at the numbers, he's underwater when it comes to young voters, obviously losing support amongst minority voters. And voters point to the economy. They say all of this is impacting them. They can't get a house and all that stuff. The White House already has some of the best Hollywood people to produce their messaging and all that. Is it the position of the White House that people just don't understand the story of the administration, that they've actually done more, and if they could just get these producers to make these little ads, that they will understand more? I mean, I'm just not understanding.
It is, Lawrence, and a lot of people that you talk to at the White House or from the campaign in Delaware have been saying for a couple months now, well, a lot of voters just are not paying attention. They're not as plugged into politics as we are. But at some point, it's too late. And at some point, people do have to start paying attention, because we're like 2.5 months away from people forming opinions and then applying for ballots to get sent to their house. And so it's the time for people to start paying attention is coming up quickly.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.